Scotty's hurt right now. It's just what it is. But like I said last week, he's fighting a fight, an unfair fight. He's not going to win this fight, right?
Yeah.
The same way that I talk about the LeBron James, fan club and how strong they are, MJ has a strong fan club as well. You're not going to win this fight, Scotty. You got two hands tied behind your back. You're not.
Next segment, Scottie Pippen has changed his stance yet again. I have a theory on why he changed it, but Coach Scott, I'm gonna let you go. You might have the same theory I got. Why do you think first it's you're not the GOAT, you're a terrible player? I love Mike, and Mike is the GOAT. Matter of fact, Mike, come do my speech at my Hall of Fame induction. Like, nah, you're horrible. LeBron's the GOAT. Actually, there is no GOAT. He's just all over the place. But now he's back to saying Michael is the greatest player ever. Coach Scott, what's going on with Scotty?
I mean, I think that Scotty makes it tough for himself. I think he should just stick a sword in the ground and call it what it is, right? And if Michael Jordan is his GOAT, he played with him. Hell, that's your GOAT. I mean, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. I think that when you look at the body of work that, again, Scottie Pippen has put in with Michael Jordan, I think, Scotty is kind of flailing out there in the water when he says that Mike is not the GOAT. But when you talk about basketball and you're talking about competitive edge and competitive greatness, yes, Michael Jordan, I think he is the GOAT, and that's why he's my 1A. But when you talk about basketball and the greatest athlete that has ever played the game of basketball, you're talking about LeBron James, and that's why he's my 1B. So when you get a chance to answer that question, you have to answer it as such. Not, I think LeBron James is the greatest because I'm upset with Mike today, and then come back tomorrow and say, well, I think Michael Jordan is actually the greatest because, we put in a body of work, and 6, championships later, here's where we stand. I think that it kind of makes you flail out in the deep water a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that, Coach J.O. What's your thoughts? Scotty's back to having MJ as the GOAT. I mean, will it last? Will it change? They're on tour. Are they still on tour? I believe they're still on tour.
Yeah, they're still on.
And what is it called? The I Don't Like Michael Jordan tour or something like that, right? But anyway, they're on tour.
I thought it was a No Bull tour.
That's right. The No Bull tour. I wonder how that's going to go. So now because I was wondering about that, Coach J.O. You now are saying Jordan's the GOAT, but now you're on the No Bull tour. Like, how does that work? How would that work? What's going on with Scotty, Coach?
Well, Scotty has been known to be fickle. He'd be all over the place. I mean, come on. 1 minute I've heard him say it's Kobe. He could go back to his Jordan. He'll say it's LeBron. Scotty's hurt right now. It's just what it is. But like I said last week, he's fighting a fight, an unfair fight. He's not going to win this fight, right?
Yeah.
The same way that I talk about the LeBron James, fan club and how strong they are, MJ has a strong fan club as well. You're not going to win this fight, Scotty. You got two hands tied behind your back. You're not. Okay? Let me read this quote that he stated after the Last Dance came out. They glorified Michael while not giving nearly enough praise to me and my proud teammates. This is what he wrote in the memoir on the Unguarded, which was released in 2021. Michael deserved a large portion of the blame. The producers had granted him editorial control of the final product. The doc couldn't have been released otherwise. He was the leading man and the director. Okay? This is what this all is about. Okay? Now, in my personal opinion, was Scotty portrayed as a bad guy in The Last Dance? No.
Yes.
He was?
Yes.
Other than the point where the section of the documentary where he refused to go into the game, that's like the only part I could say that he was portrayed negatively. And that's a part, if I'm not mistaken, MJ wasn't even there that year. So
Yep.
I don't even know whether that should have been a part of The Last Dance. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if that should have been a part of it.
Here's why he was painted. Here's why he was painted as a villain, so to speak. Michael narrated that point in the actual
Talking about the point that he didn't go in.
Yeah, he
Okay.
narrated that point. And if you're not there, hey man, that's a conversation that him and Scotty should have had after the game. And that's a point that him and Scotty should have had sitting down over a beer. But you don't narrate that point to kind of elevate yourself over a teammate that has been there through every championship you've had.
Well, I mean, will we say that bad choice by Mike was enough for Scotty to go on this rage tour that he's on now? And I'm not just talking about the No Bull tour. I'm talking about as far as calling Mike the worst player he's ever played with, attacking the GOAT status, knowing that, Jordan's competitive level, his competitive level. I mean, I think it was a bit much if that was the only thing. Here's my thought. That wasn't the only thing. As we stated before, sports unfiltered. Just tell the truth. Listen, the man's wife is now dating Michael Jordan's son, right? So he's dating Michael Jordan's son. This has to play into it, right?
Absolutely.
So this is a woman who knew Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, while he was a kid. This is a little weird, actually. Why he's a kid. You know what I mean? Now, coincidentally, when she breaks up with Marcus Jordan, guess who says Mike's the GOAT again? Scotty, when the relationship is over.
And especially over different eras. But from where you were standing and playing, was Michael the best or the greatest ever?
For sure. I mean, you look at the MVPs that he was able to achieve, but I think it was all brought from us being successful as a team. Obviously, someone is going to bring those accolades home, but yeah, he was the greatest player.
Scotty says Mike's the GOAT again. This was a major reason why. I understand the Last Dance and what was going on with that whole situation, but I think it had to do with that situation primarily. Like your son's dating my wife, and here's the thing about it. I was watching a clip where Michael Jordan was asked, "Hey, do you approve of Marcus and what's her name, Laura Pippen's relationship?"
Hey, Mr. Jordan, what do you think about Marcus and Larsa Pippen together? You approve of it? No. You don't approve?
He says no, right? She tries to paint a picture when she's been interviewed that, the families are fine. Well, now that they're no longer together, it's coming out more. Michael Jordan was against this from the start. He never approved of it. He never approved. And I think, Coach Scott, that somewhere along the line, Pippen probably felt like Jordan had something to do with this, or not something to do with it, but he could have been more of a person to say, "Hey, Marcus, you shouldn't be doing this." And maybe he thought Jordan wasn't doing it. You think that could be a possibility?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, with any son that has any ounce of respect for their father, if a father one-on-one conversation is, "Hey, this is not what we do. This is not how we conduct ourselves man to man. This is just not a good look." I think in no way, shape, form, or fashion does Michael Jordan's son date Scottie Pippen's wife. Like you said, this was a young man. I don't know, obviously, the age grouping, but this was a young man that he had to be at least an adolescent or a teenager growing up while these two were playing basketball. And for them to date, yeah, that stings. That's a sting that it's like none other.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
What do you think, Coach J.O.?
Right, same here, right? And as Scotty stated in the in his statement, Michael Jordan controls the narrative. We don't know their relationship behind closed doors, but one thing I can say publicly, I've never heard Michael Jordan say anything negative towards Scotty. I haven't. But in Scotty's mind, he still can feel that Michael controls the narrative regardless. And he may feel Michael had something to do with his son, dating his ex-wife. You get what I'm saying? Because think about it. It's hard to believe that that's a coincidence. Out of all the people in the world that she could have talked to, out of all the people in the world that he could have dated, you're going to date the guy that my dad, I mean, you're dating the woman that the ex-wife, I mean, the ex-wife of the guy that my dad is beefing with at that time. That's hard to believe that that's a coincidence. You get what I'm saying? That's hard to believe that's a coincidence. And I can understand if Scotty has an issue with this, right? And he believes that Michael Jordan can control any narrative. Just because he's good, he has a good PR team, and he says the right things all the time. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Right.
We don't.
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair. From what I saw and what was reported in the, from the sources that I looked at, it wasn't Marcus who actually came on to her. It was her coming on to him and pushing up on him. Again, drama, gossip, we don't really know. The point is, this is a fair reason. Because, listen, if I'm Pippen, come on, I'm mad at you too, Mike. Why is it? I don't care if I'm not married to her no more, Mike. I mean, it's the principle. Why your son dating, my ex-wife? Let's just be honest about this thing. So I can understand where Scotty's coming from, but he has, I think, well, with the separation, he must have felt, and I'm guessing because I don't know Scotty personally, I'm guessing he must have felt some sort of relief, about the situation to, change his stance. Say, hey, well, all right, Mike, I'll be honest, you to go. All right. So, but that's it for that segment. Welcome to The GOAT Debate, the premier online sports debate show where engaging discussions and thrilling debates unfold as we determine who is the greatest of all time in every sport. I am your host, Abaya Israel, joined by my two co-hosts, Coach Scott and Coach J.O. Tune into our YouTube and Facebook channels to catch our reactions and coverage of the biggest games and the latest news. Don't miss out on your chance to participate in the action. Join us every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for The GOAT Debate, where you, the viewer, can call in and share your thoughts on who deserves the title of the GOAT. Be sure to mark your calendars. Every Monday, we upload 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and we go live every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe, call in, and participate. Come and be a part of the conversation.